Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome into Good Morning Lambeau, and welcome into a Victory Friday here on PTA. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. You can find me on Twitter at Packers_access. You can email us, PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. You can also text us on the Ticket King text line, 865-658-5824. We're flying solo for the time being. Surprise, surprise. Listen, it was hard to get up this morning, I ain't going to lie. And I'm sure Tim and the guys are still in that carb coma. We'll see if they make it in here at some point. When Emilio said he was going to make it for the morning show, I got to be real. I said, I appreciate you, Emilio. And I just moved on. So he's probably still snuggled up in that race car bed. But let's do this. And I see the chat's already lit up, man. It's going to be a great show. Got a lot of stuff we can cover. We can go in a multitude of angles. Let's start off in the chat real quick, though. Josh Vallanningham said, love balled out. He looked comfortable and poised most of the game. I've been putting a few tweets out there. I've been woke up about an hour and a half ago and started going through the tape. And, the Josh Jacobs play, and we'll show it here in a second, but the Josh Jacobs play where he just jukes the Miami defender out of his jock. Jordan did a hell of a job navigating the pocket there. Got a little pressure from the left side, from his left side, stepped right up, slid left, dumped it off, created the throwing lane there to Josh Jacobs, and obviously Josh Jacobs did the rest. I think Jordan's playing a lot more comfortable, no doubt about that. Nick McSwain in the chat said, good morning, PTA Posse. Hope everyone have a good Thanksgiving. It's nice hearing people say the Packers are out physicaling teams. I don't remember the last time I've heard that. Team is cooking. It's a great point, Nick, and they really are, man. The big thing that sticks out about this game and really the second half of what should have been a blowout against the Vikings, right? I know we ended up losing that game, but that second half, man, when you're down by that much, you go into halftime and you get your ass reamed out by your coach and nothing's going right. And you have the what am I trying to say here? The guts as a team to kind of lock arms and come out in the second half and go, we're not going down like this, right? That's the fight you're looking for in a team. I remember specifically an old NFL film, not too old, but an NFL Films documentary on the New England Patriots, one of the 32 years they won the Super Bowl. And he talked about getting blown out by the Chiefs. And everybody's saying, is this the end of the Bill Belichick era? Is this the end of Tom Brady? All that stuff. And Bill said, when I seen the way we responded in the second half of that Chiefs game, even though we lost, that told me everything I needed to know about our team. And lo and behold, they go on a run and win the whole thing. So that's why, to me, sometimes when you're getting blown out by a team, how you respond in the second half, even though you lose the game, it ain't a moral victory. It's simply you're building off of the success of the second half of, hey, look at what we can do, even when our back's against the wall. So, I'm with you, though, man. They're out physical in teams, no doubt. We got Emilio joining us now. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for
how many times are you going to come to my press conference late?
He did it to himself. That wasn't me. That's appreciate you hopping on, man. How you doing this morning? You awake yet? You got coffee in you?
Slept like a rock. Got the old pack mug ready to go, man. Victory Friday. Great day. Get out shopping. Let's get some Milwaukee tools, some Black Friday deals. Let's go for it.
Yeah, I've been online. As I was cutting up a little bit of tape earlier, I was online doing a little Christmas shopping myself. So
Mandy
cool.
Hasn't bottomed out the credit card yet?
No, it's holding strong, man. Let me tell you, it's smoking, though. It is smoking. You remember back in 2010 when the Packers won the Super Bowl, how we were all banged up and injured, and we just kind of limped right to the finish line. That's that card right now, man. It's hanging on. It's taped together. It's we'll get it. We'll hopefully we could put it to bed pretty soon. But man, I'll tell you, this is how it operates. Once Halloween passes, hey, it's Christmas buying season, Clayton. Right? This is what she's telling me. And then it's once you get to Thanksgiving, it's hey, look, it's Black Friday deals. We can't. My favorite line, we can't afford not to get it. You know what I mean? That. And then, of course, you get beyond Christmas, and it's Clayton. They're having these Cyber Monday deals, man. Now everything's on sale after Christmas. It never ends.
If I can get a deal over 30%, it's mine. Anything at 30% off or more is mine, 100%.
Need to set something up where we all hang out and you and Mandy just shop online and me and Jordan hang out and drink coffee and just watch us go nuts because you two love a deal. I promise you. I promise you. How you feeling though this morning after the game? Anything kind of sink in Josh Vallandigham says hit that like button. Appreciate it, Josh. But Emilio, anything kind of – I know when I woke up this morning, the first thing that hit me when I was kind of recapping the game, and sometimes it's always a blur, it was, man, Josh Jacobs. You look at the stat line rushing the ball, and you think, oh, man, that's a bad night. But then you look at what he did in the passing game. The dude is just – and the other thing, I think that just his presence and them having to shut down the run, you could tell the Dolphins' plan was shut down the run. And then Jordan just staying poised in the pocket and delivering on the plays he needed to deliver on, man. But anything stick out to you this morning before we get cranked up here?
Honestly, that clip that the Packers put up of Matt in the locker room, just saying, hey, mention all the guys like we normally do, that how well of a game they played, all that, and then you just you go ahead and give that game ball to Robert Rochelle. Yep, exactly. And I didn't quite hear what happened, but I believe he lost some friends, and he was just going out there playing for them. Gets that fumble recovery, and it's one of those things where it's like, dude, they're not backups or starters in waiting. Even on the special teams or the wee fence, as Matt calls it, like Valentine took that lick on the first kickoff, got tweaked, and then Robert Rochelle, you're up. You're gunner next to Bo now, and you can't make that mistake. You got to be ready to go out there. The fact that it happened first drive. And we didn't have any hiccups. I like that. When they sit in the meeting room the night before, everybody raises their hands. Hey, if he gets hurt, who's going in, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. That's exactly it. And just be ready to step up and play. So love it.
Yeah, and we've got that clip right here for you guys and gals. Everybody's surprised that Emilio's in here. I love it. Holmes MD1 says, Emilio, what are you doing up at this hour? It's Black Friday, man.
He said, wait. You slept like me? Yeah, that's it.
I told you, man, there's Milwaukee tools to be purchased. We got Tim doing this here now.
Good morning.
So we'll give Tim a second to get his feet under him here, and let's go ahead and hit the locker room video of Matt LaFleur. And like Emilio pointed out, Robert Rochelle, obviously it being an emotional win for him. Here's the coach in the locker room. I apologize if there's language, but I'm glad there is. I got to be honest with you. Here we go.
I'll tell you what. Give it up for everybody in this locker room, man. 2 games, 5 days. We handled our business, man. We handled our business. Total team effort. I got to give it up to our defense, man. Holding these guys. 14 carries, 39 yards on the ground. Hell yeah. 5 sacks. Hell yeah. And I'll tell you what, the biggest play, though, they had a 2nd and goal on the 1-yard line. And we didn't flinch. And we held their ass on a goal line stand. So give it up for defense. A lot of guys balled out on offense. Our quarterback was 21 of 28. You're good for it. We had 25 carries for 114 yards. Shea Reed with 2 tugs. But I got 1 game ball. And this guy had some stuff go down in his personal life and was playing with a heavy heart today. And he kind of set us off, man, by recovering that fumble on the punt.
Yes, sir.
Where's Scoot at?
It meant a lot to me going out there tonight. I lost 2 of my partners earlier today, tragedy. But I still showed up because I love my teammates. I'm going to be here every day.
And we love you.
Right there.
Hey, man, I'm proud of y'all boys, man. Let's keep stacking these days. Let's come in and get ready to go back to work. Pack on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Man, love it.
And when Keyshawn said, and we love you, right there. That is our team summed up right there.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
We got another Scoot on the
sounds like
team,
we got another Scoot, don't we?
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Scooter.
We got Scooter and Scoot. All right. Tim, after you slept on it here, man, how you feeling about this win? Anything kind of like I was telling Emilio, sometimes when we're doing the post-game show, everything's a blur, right? You just watch 3 hours of football, then you're hopping in, trying to get organized. What sticks out to you this morning, man?
We're winning the freaking Super Bowl, boys. Lombardi's coming home. If you can't see that this is a championship team in the making, you're blind. I'm telling you right now. This team reeks of that 96 Packers team, man. We've got a killer defense. We got an offense that's humming, and we've got 53 men that are willing to lay it all on the line for each other. This is what championship caliber teams are made of. Everybody in that locker room is playing for each other. I believe we've got the right coaching staff in the building, and I really believe it. I think we're winning the NFC, and we're bringing Lombardi home this year. Let's get it.
I love it. Love the energy, man. Here's the latest NFC standings as we take a look. IROC says, talk that, Tim. Talk it. There
No, and I don't even have a full cup of coffee in me yet either. Let's go.
You wait. You just wait.
Going to be wired for sound by the time we end this show. So looking at the NFC, the Detroit Lions sitting in the number 1 seed at 11-1. We got them next. I cannot wait for that game. Oh my God. Philadelphia Eagles are 9-2. They're in the 2 seed. Seahawks are in the 3 seed at 6-5. Atlanta Falcons in the 4 seed at 6-5. Then you got the Vikings at 9-2, the Packers at 9-3, the Commanders at 7-5. All right. And then the Arizona Cardinals sitting there at 6-5. Then it drops off to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, LA Rams, San Francisco 49ers, all sitting at 5-6. And then, of course, the Dallas Cowboys at 5-7. So really what you're looking at here in terms of the playoffs, the teams you want to keep an eye on are the Commanders, the Cardinals, and the Vikings, right? And again, if we win out, you never know. Detroit almost slipped up last week. You got an opportunity to go out there and give them an L this coming week and at least see what you build off of, based off of the improvement you've made as opposed to, the earlier matchup this year against the Detroit Lions at Lambeau. So you're going to get a nice little measuring stick game. You could potentially give them an L and drop them down. And then who knows, man, anything could happen. You might be able to catch up and win the North. But regardless, my focus is on Tampa, Arizona, and Washington, and Minnesota as well. Let's get those teams dropping down a little bit further on the standings and let the Packers get a higher seed. But what do you think about the standings, Emilio? Anything stick out to you there, man? Is there anything I'm missing in that regard?
No, I think you're spot on. The only thing I don't like is our 1-2 in the division record. Besides that, we're in good shape. The 9 wins is key, right? It's what they say. It's the first time since realignment that the NFC North has ever had 3 9+ win teams in week 12 or 13. And, we really can. I was messing around with the playoff thing the other day. You can poke around and you can make it happen where we can somehow come up and win the North. The Lions do have to take a couple L's. We kind of need to keep winning out, but it's possible. From where we were last year, trying to see if we were even going to scrape our way into the playoffs to where we are now is awesome. And just being able to kind of take advantage of where this team's put themselves in this position, always being ready sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go to the chat. Reef in the chat says GM offensive player goes to, or he said, good morning. Offensive player goes to the bunch. Great effort by the bunch. Love it. And I threw in here, guys, everyone make sure you go vote on offensive player of the week. It is here on YouTube. There's a YouTube poll question. Get your vote in there. And like I told AFAM, listen, no stuffing ballots. All right, AFAM, don't be stuffing the ballots. And then Boz comes back, of course, said that's not all he stuffed. I said what I said. All right. And Nick McSwain, of course, stop the count.
True international effort to pressure.
Excellent drop. All right, let's see. Josh Vallanningham, life is good. Victory Friday, diesel flowing. And I got my membership back and get to talk ball with the best people. Couldn't be a better day. I appreciate you swinging through, Josh. You're the man. Thank you for re-upping the membership. What he's talking about is joining the PTA posse here on YouTube. You can join as a member, and that will enter you into the giveaways along with our Patreon group. If you go to patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access, if you'd rather be a member over there, you can do that. That gives you access to some of our chats. Scan the QR code in the upper right. That'll send you to that website, or just go to, like I said, patreon.com and search for Packer Fan Total Access. Multitude of chats. Oh, look at Tim getting segregated.
I was going to do it for him, but they got Tim over there.
Getting revenge on me for the post-game show?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Well, the side jokes that some of these people don't know what we're talking about is hilarious. I'm telling you, it got lit in here after the show last night. We hung out for a little bit. But, yeah, so, again, over in the Patreon group, got a lot of cool stuff over there, man. We got to get an update on our fantasy football league standings as well. We had a PTA Posse Fantasy League this year, and there's some money on the line for that. So, again, appreciate y'all supporting over there. Let's see what else we got here. Holmes MD1. I have been saying for months, run power concepts with any of our backs. They will eat. Then J Love steals your soul through the air. Love it, man. You talk about complimentary football yesterday, Holmes. It was absolutely awesome. I put one tweet out. We'll get to all of them here in a minute, but Matt LaFleur using the jet motion to trigger a hard count and then bringing him back on zipper for the actual jet sweep. I don't remember seeing that this year. I don't know about you guys. We've used that jet motion hard count, but then we just end up snapping, right? We haven't gave the ball to the guy coming back on a zipper. And that was really, really cool, man. Because what it tells you is you've put on tape. I guarantee you the coaches on other teams have talked about, hey, listen, when they do that hard count, they're just snapping the ball on the other side. They're going to get him over there, flex him out, or they may bring him back, but he's not getting the ball. And then bang, for the first time, now you've got that on tape. So guess what? Next time you use the jet motion hard count and then you bring him back on zipper, you can fake that ball to Jaden Reed, and they're probably going to be keyed in on it because they will have watched it on tape, I guarantee you, because it was an explosive run. Just little things like that really stack up, and it goes hand in hand with what Holmes is saying here as well, just running the rock and letting Jordan Love kind of work off play action there for sure. Josh Vallantingham, honestly, I think we can beat the Lions. I'm not nervous about this game, but at the same time, it won't break my heart if we lose. I think that's very well said, Josh. I think we can beat the Lions, but at the same time, hopefully you guys have caught on watching this show of how I approach the game. It can be the worst team in the league. And if they lose, I'm not over here screaming fire people. I'm not over here screaming cut this guy. It's ridiculous. It's the National Football. It happens every single week in the league, right? And now when you get to the point where the Giants are, the Bears, that debacle yesterday, I understand fans calling for jobs. But Matt LaFleur, by the way, we'll hit on it here in a second, but he's now 10th all time. He just passed up Papa Bear Hallis in winning percentage. So Jeff Flaherty is next on the list there, and I think he'll actually get it this week, I believe. If not this week, then next week. If it should be within the next 2 to 3 wins, depending on if we got a loss sprinkled in there, that he could potentially pass him. So
that's crazy to think. Absolutely
awesome. Holmes in the chat. McDuff and Quay were monsters yesterday. They really were, man. They were. Matter of fact, we got a clip here from Quay in the locker room. We need a screen grab of that right there. That look right there. Matter of fact, let me do that while I'm thinking about it. Let's go ahead and get it before we lose it. Just throw that up there. Bang. All right, we got it. Here is Quay Walker in the locker room yesterday talking about really this 2-game stint where he's starting to stack some really, really successful days there at linebacker.
You wouldn't?
No, I don't want to give myself too much. I know how I am by now. I feel like I have been playing a little better the past 2 games, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. As I always say, just want to stay neutral. Just keep going, man. See where I can go from here.
Well, your defensive coordinator told us the other day that last week was the best he'd seen you play, and you really bounced back. Was that really important to you after maybe not playing for those kids?
Yeah, for sure. I think the little things just adds up. Leading up into the game, practice walkthroughs and everything, just being locked in. I was really, really locked in the whole entire week through everything. I wasn't saying much. Just making sure I just come out and do my best. And trying to get it over for Sunday.
You wouldn't?
Love it. Just even keel, not giving himself too much credit. You love to hear it. I think with Quay, the biggest thing that's popping to me, and I was looking at some of the tape earlier this morning, there's no hesitation. And you could see it. Sometimes you think you see that while you're watching the game, and then you go back and watch the tape. Maybe I over-exaggerated. I was probably in my feelings a little bit at that moment in the game. But Quay is just playing very aggressive right now. There's no hesitation at all. He's playing like his career's on the line, because it really is, guys. Like, we're to the point with Quay Walker. If you remove these last 2 games, there wasn't anyone in the fan base saying, slam dunk, give him number 1 mock money, right? Tim's probably the biggest fan of Quay Walker, especially of this group. And he's still like, yeah, for the right price. Am I right, Tim? And then you get these 2 games, and it's like, okay, that you see the athleticism. He's got it in him. It's just a matter of playing consistent and being aggressive at the right times and shooting a shot. But Tim, my man, he stepped up big time yesterday, dude.
Yeah, Quay's locked in right now. I really believe it. I think his focus is where it needs to be. And he's just playing really, really good football right now. I don't know if you guys saw this quote See if I can pull this up here. This was from Ryan Wood on Twitter. Xavier McKinney. Great quote here. Quay is a hell of a player. From the time I got around him when I first came to Green Bay to now, he's obviously growing each game, each practice. But in my eyes, from what I've seen, I believe Quay is the best middle linebacker in the league. This is Xavier McKinney, your future defensive player of the year. He says, I still think he has many different qualities that you don't really see. He covers well. He can tackle well. He shoots. He does a lot of those things. Obviously, he's still growing, and he's kind of going through. He goes through different things, but he's got the mic. That's something that I understand because I had the mic when I was in New York. I know how hard that stuff can be, so I understand him. Try to help him make certain calls out and just try to make his job easier so he can go out there and play fast. When he goes out there and plays fast, there ain't a lot of people who can do what he can do. So that's what Xavier McKinney thinks of Quay Walker, and I tend to agree, boys. I think Quay is rounding a corner here, and you're right, Clayton. He's playing for his not just his job or whatever, but his future in the NFL, really, based on what type of career trajectory he's really going to have. So I hope he continues to ball out and finishes this year strong.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think, Emilio, based off these last two games? I mean, if he's going to play like that or give us a third of a season at that level,
Yep.
I think he's worthy of the mock money. Because, again, like Tim pointed out and like Xavier McKinney was saying, with his athleticism, those guys don't just grow on trees, you know?
Yep. I'm just saying. But, no, yeah, he I was always there backing up Tim because, I mean, we want him to be an elite player after year one. We want him to be an elite player after year two. And if he's not, all right, he's trash. Throw him to the heap.
Right.
And you know how many times have we seen players, just find the right if it's a different team or find the right spot, find the right venue, whatever it is, and then they hit their stride. Maybe it just took having a safety with his head on and able to communicate. And like you said, he's got the mic or he's got the green dot. And it's going to stay that way, the way X was talking. But him taking just a little bit off his plate obviously helps. You saw them communicating kind of late sometimes, but they're getting the signals across. You see them slapping their hips. They're pushing up on their hands. All these little hand signals to keep everybody in line. And it didn't seem like we got crossed up too much. It's just Tua was really, really good at layering the ball in there into the second level. So I'm not really mad at it. And I really think Quay has, played well. And just it's never going to be perfect, Quay, but just keep going downhill. And he's steady, right? Besides that concussion, he's out there every single play. So we got to be able to depend on him. And I think he's doing that.
I think that's a great point, Emilio, that you said about his, not cutting and running, and everybody develops at different rates. We are all super impatient, especially with first round draft picks. We have a lot of guys on this team that if we weren't patient with, they might be playing football somewhere else. We didn't cut and run away from Sean Ryan, and Sean Ryan's playing his best ball lately. We never gave up on him, allowed him to develop. I think we're seeing that with LVN. LVN, we thought, hey, he should be a monster right away. This is year two for him. We're seeing him round the corner a little bit, starting to play better. So I don't care where you draft the guy, you got to give them time to develop in this league for sure. Yeah.
I think it's very well said. And, with Quay, the thing to me is, as far as bringing him back, when people ask me, you or they'll make a comment or whatever on Twitter, you're really going to sign him back? Absolutely, for the right price. There's not a player on this roster that I don't want him back. It's just, what price tag are you talking? Right?
Guys, the staff loves Quay Walker. Talk to these coaches. Talk to Goody. Talk to the people in that building. They have his back. He's the mic for a reason. So I don't think they're just going to bail like that. I really don't.
All right. You saw Goody taking notes. They zoomed in on him up in the box. He said, let me just, Quay's doing well.
He said, good morning, Lambo. Going to drop at 9:30 in the morning Eastern time, 8:30 Central. I'll make sure I tune in. No.
Jeff Hafley's up there going, Mike Fire, Mike Fire, Mike Fire.
And you know what Quay does well? I know we hit on him a lot for it, but he can kind of be the safety net in the middle. You know what I mean? He can stop shoot, not as well as Coop. We've seen that, but he's more of catch and make the play, but in a safety net sort of way. Not always being explosive, but really not always getting beat over the top in a run kind of thing. Not getting washed out, and he's a good backup plan.
No, I completely understand and agree with that. Like, here are his strengths. Quay Walker's strengths are vertical coverage. Yep. He's as good as anybody in the league at vertical coverage. You put somebody on a wheel route. He shut down Saquon Barkley with it last year, if you guys remember, right? Wheel routes, he's your guy.
Yep.
Down the seam, if you're going to run Tampa 2 and you want him to be that mock to drop to cover the 2 and the 3 vert, he's your guy. If you want your mock backer to blitz, like Tim was saying, he's got the athleticism, the quickness and he doesn't use any fancy pass rush moves like Micah Parsons. Like, he doesn't have that in his bag of tools. It's just quick twitch, athleticism, and those are both perfect examples of, look, if the play is predetermined for Quay, all right, all I got to do is flip my hips, and if the 2 or 3 goes vert, I'm covering him down the seam. He's as good as anybody in the league.
Right.
If the play call is, here's what you do, Quay. As soon as the ball snapped, as fast as you can, you just get through that A-gap. He's as good as anybody in the league at that from the mock backer position. It's the processing that's the weak spot of his game. You could tell it's that, and he always, like you were saying, Emilio, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this is what you were just saying. He's always going to err on the side of, let me play this safe when I don't truly know, right?
Yep.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It gets frustrating when the team's running for $120 on you, no doubt.
Right.
But as you can see, teams aren't really doing that this year.
But yeah, you're also, I mean, you'll see him shoot a gap, you'll see him get upfield, but you never see Quay as being the one standing next to the quarterback who's already handed the ball off and the running back's 15 yards downfield. Like, Quay will never catch himself right in that spot.
No, I think that's a great point, man. Great point. And I love how they use him, like to be able to be interchangeable there, and put him in a position to, hey, all right, look, let's go ahead and run blitz here, Quay. Let's get a run and go and get into that gap. I think that Hafley he's sat back, he's evaluated now. That's the other thing too, guys. This is a half a season per half. We're in the second half of the season now, but like he watched the tape when they hired him. He talked about that. They immediately signed Keyshawn Nixon, which, by the way, you can hang your hat on the PFF grade all you want, but Nixon is the real deal when it comes to like just situational football of knowing when I need to attack the football. That dude attacks the football better than any corner in the game. He's a safety playing corner, in my opinion. That's how I would describe Keyshawn Nixon. He brings a level of physicality when it comes to the run defense. It's so seldom you see him miss a tackle. Now, you'll see him be late in man coverage, getting his head around that type of stuff. That's one of his weak spots. And the whole point of explaining that is you're talking about the strengths of Keyshawn. You're talking about the strengths of Quay. You're talking about the strengths of every player. And as a defensive coordinator, you go, okay, how can we utilize his strengths? What does he do well, right? Like Coach Lynn says, success is not linear in the NFL. Bill Belichick, 101, he said that he would have guys come to him, scouts come to him, and they go, yeah, that guy can't do this. He can't do that. He can't do this. And you see Emilio shaking his head. What does he say, though, Emilio?
He said, what can he do? Let me know what this man can do on my team.
Right, yeah. Why the hell do I matter what he can't do when we haven't even got our hands on him to coach him up yet, right? Yep. What can he do? What can he contribute to the team? When people hear the old slogan, do your job, the Patriot way there on that big dynasty run, you know what they think it means, Emilio? They think it means shut up and do your job. I'm the one in charge. You do what I say. Do your job. That's not what he's saying. He's saying every single person on the roster, focus on the 2, maybe 3 things that you need to do to have a good game, and just do your job. Just focus on that. Forget what he's doing. Forget what's going on. Just focus on these 2 or 3 things. Like if the game plan is we're going to run a lot of Tampa 2, you just focus on don't be late on your read, flipping your hips and getting down the seam, right?
Right.
Sure that you don't get called for a penalty. Don't get grabby on that. Make sure you box out, get your head around. Just the 2 or 3 things that you need to do at your position to be successful for that specific game plan. And that's why I just laugh my ass off at DVOA and some of these other metrics where people are like, well, technically they have the slide, and we cover the analytics. We do that here. But what it comes down to is every single game is different. Every game plan is different. Like what we did well this week has nothing to do with next week. And that's what's so frustrating about the pass rush conversation. Now, all of a sudden, what did we end up with? 5 sacks? Is that what they said it was? Am I thinking right? Now, all of a sudden, the pass rush, now those negative Nancy's will shift their focus to something else like they always do. And then it's the second that we call a game plan where we're not be overly aggressive because we've got a big lead and we get 2 sacks or don't even get a sack, they'll come right back to it and say this pass rush is garbage again, with taking no consideration whatsoever into what is the specific game plan to beat this specific team.
I'm willing to bet 3 or 4 of those sacks came out of 4-man rush, and we weren't even blitzing.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee it.
And to Boy's point about making a shot when you have a chance. Emmanuel Wilson, 2 snaps, 20 yards. Robert Rochelle, a couple of punt snaps, got a fumble recovery. Wheelan, how many he gets? His opportunities are holding the ball and punting the ball. That's all, and just do what you got to do. Get the ball down, let McManus kick it. He helped us, get 12 points, and then go out there, punt the ball down, get it inside the 20. Just do your job when you're on the field. That's all it takes.
How about McManus with the tackle in the open field on the kickoff? You guys catch that one?
Mm-hmm.
Got the kicker a little dirty. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. McManus has been a godsend, man. He really has.
Yeah.
He's done an excellent job. I'm going to try to find the sacks real quick. If you guys want to talk for just a second, I'm going to pull them up on NFL Pro because I do want to hit on them here real quick. However many we had. Yeah, we had 5 is what it's showing, and I'll do just the end zone cam. Actually, I've got it ready here. Let me just get it on the screen. Give me just a second, you guys. I apologize. I wanted to hit on them since we were talking about it and before we move on, and kind of see because like Tim was talking about, and Tim, I'm sure you would say here, this happens to me all the time. It felt like it was mostly 4-man pressures, right? But sometimes we watch the tape and it's totally different. I don't have the answer to it, but let's watch it real quick. These are the end zone cams for all 5 sacks. This first one being LVN. All right. I will say this too. Pretty cool statistic. 3 of the sacks. 3 of those 5 sacks, Rashawn Gary had a pressure on the play. Mm-hmm. So pretty cool to see him and LVN really cranking it up here on the field.
And I love that we saw this preseason. We literally saw this look preseason and have been talking about it the whole time. Spread on the forefront. Love it.
So this is LVN's
4-man rush. Look at this. Here we go.
LVN's first sack. This is right on the cusp. This is 2nd and 6 play, right on the cusp of the middle 8. 4:21 left in the second quarter. Let's hit it. 4-man rush, and notice how they're eating too. Look at Gary and LVN, both of them, right? And notice what Kenny's doing. You see how Kenny's not. Yeah, Kenny is not pinning his ears back. Watch, Kenny's not trying to get to the quarterback. Look at him just kind of lagging.
Kenny
right?
compared to Carl Brooks, completely different rush.
Yep. Then Carl Brooks takes it up the field, forces him up in the pocket, and look who's there to clean it up, LV. And everything is working in unison together.
Right.
And sometimes when it doesn't work, it looks like, man, they got owned. Look who helps finish right here on the play. Look at Gary.
That's a coverage sack. We talk about it all the time. Mm-hmm. Tua had nowhere to go with that ball. And every time, not every time, but nearly every time here. Now here's Quay Muggin. I wonder if they send him on this second one. We saw a lot of those quick swing passes and checkdowns and the ball getting out quick, like we talked about when we started dialing up blitzes. He was able to get rid of that football underneath, and they were getting completions. So I loved when we just held our own, rushed 4, and kind of kept him in the well with nowhere to go with the football, and it led to great things.
Yeah, and on that LVN sack, I love his shed. I mean, he had him up 2 hands, and then throw that tackle to the side, go get the QB. Yeah.
Sometimes it's a punch, pull, and swim, or a punch, pull, and rip. What they're coached to do is punch in the chest, grab the jersey, pull them down, and then work over them.
Because D, you can use your hands on defense. Grab that man, chuck him to the side. You need to get to the ball.
Mm-hmm. As long as you don't get outside of the framework of the pads, you're not going to get called for that, right? Yep. If you grab them by the back and throw them, they're going to call that.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the second sack. This was the very next play, I believe. So you're officially in the middle 8 now, second quarter, right? And this is a 3rd and 8 play. This is Enigbare with the sack. And here you see you got a double A-gap mug. We call that double barrel. Also, look at the safety over here with Evan Williams, right? Yep. Evan Williams showing blitz. Let's see how many they actually bring. Quay Bells, McDuffie Bells, and so does Evan Williams. So it's just a 4-man rush.
Look at that.
Now
there's a great example. Look how exotic of a 4-man rush that was, because it looked totally different pre-snap versus post-snap.
Yep.
Yeah,
What did
absolutely.
Matt call those? Coffee house? Was it coffee mug?
Yeah,
Coffee house when they're
I
up
think
in
he
there?
called them coffee house. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they probably changed it up because, like, when you're on the field and you call in a call or you're communicating to your players, everybody knows what double barrel means now. In the early to mid 2000s, they didn't know what it meant. It's double barrel. What's double barrel? It's double A gap mug, right?
Yeah, it was kind of like how what was it earlier? Brady was talking about paint, like running a paint route or Picasso. It's like there's a bunch of different words you can use, and that's it. You just got to kind of find the word that's going to work with your team.
Mm-hmm. And Enigbare just burst off the line, great jump, beats the tackle like a drum, dude. And Tua obviously never stood a chance, and you see Gary right there as well, getting in on it. So
that poor tackle didn't even know who to block. He was like, "Please, somebody help me."
Yeah, this one right here is a lot of fun. So this is what we call a green dog, okay? And obviously we're inside the Dolphins are inside the 5-yard line here. Watch Quay with the green dog blitz. It's real simple. He is man coverage on 28, the running back. If the running back stays in and blocks, you got the green light to go. If the running back goes out, you're covering him. We call that a green dog. All right, watch Quay here. Ball snapped. All right, the running back, he notices right here is staying in. Let's go get it. Bang. No hesitation at all, man. None. Quay, and that burst, you see it right there. Like, they never stood a chance.
That's all I was saying. He's conservative for a second, but when he makes his decision, he's going. He goes 110 mile an hour.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. Just a great play there by Quay. Finishing. And again, look at the pressure around Tua. Look at Gary beating the edge with the rip, making Tua step right up into that green dog.
I like that they talked through the motion. They're flipping. It was man coverage. They're flipping. They're changing assignments. It was Bullard giving it to X. So all that talk is huge.
Yeah, look at that look. That was interesting. So here's the next sack. And this is Kenny Clark's sack. So when they come out, they're kind of showing just your traditional, it looks like a nickel 4-2-5 here, right? And they're showing a combination look like you've got a wide 9 from Enigbare. You've got essentially a 2-eye from, I believe that's Carl Brooks. And then you got Kenny showing the 5-tech and Gary in a wide 9 out here, right? Now watch before the ball snap, they shift. So now you put Carl Brooks at the nose. He's playing 0-tech. Now Enigbare comes down to a 4-eye right here on the inside shoulder of the tackle, and McDuffie's mugging on the outside. So do you guys remember? I hate tooting our own horn, but it's important, like, to understand when we were going in this game, you're lighting the loafers with linebackers this game, right? What we say, you may press into nickel 4-2-5 and bring a backer down the line of scrimmage and show a 34 jam. That's what you got here. This is the defense we ran last year was a 34 jam. You got a 0. And you've got a couple, and typically with a traditional jam, the guards will be covered too. You'll kind of isolate the middle and then your wide 9s. But it's a 5-man front where the nose tackle's playing 0 is essentially what a jam front is. Now, when you watch here, let's see who actually blitzes, though. So you're showing a 5-man front. They've got to know right here, the left tackle's got to block the edge, right? The left guard's got to get the defensive tackle. The center and the guard will probably combo right here potentially. But wait. You've got 5 on the line of scrimmage. What we're going to have to do, if the running back is not going to be in the pass protection, we're going to have to fan right. The tackle's got to kick way out here on Gary, and the guard's got to pick up Kenny, right?
And look at Quay. They don't know what the hell Quay's doing yet. Is he mugging? Look at little mug. Oh, I'm coming.
Yeah, he's actually blitzing. Now, in this case, look what happened. Essentially, you've got Jonnu Smith going out in the route. Isaiah McDuffie was playing Sam. Right, he's kind of playing Sam. Even though it's a nickel, he's not technically Sam. He would be the mock, but he's playing like that traditional Sam. In the 90s, that's what a Sam did. You played over the tight end. You had to be willing to cover, have the ability to cover the tight end, which they were much different in the 90s. They were slower than molasses in the 1990s, but you got to be willing to cover there and also set the edge against the tight end. So they end up dropping. It ends up being, looks like man coverage potentially, although everyone else looks like they're in zone. So it might just be the game plan was walk McDuffie on the line of scrimmage, jam Jonnu Smith, which we talked about that earlier in the week. You want to jam these receivers getting off the line to throw their timing off. And it only ends up being a 4-man rush.
Yeah, Enigbare bailing too in the coverage.
Yep. So it's almost like they were saying, all right, let's bracket cover Jonnu underneath. You play bump and run on him there, McDuffie. Jam him on the line. You got 5 yards to just be completely disruptive, and everyone else is kind of playing in zone. So again, you see Igbari drop back and look at Quay.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when you see two offensive linemen and a running back not blocking anyone on a 4-man rush, and you got Quay coming free. That is Jeff Hafley in his damn
I was
bag.
just going to say, that's how you know your scheme is scheming for sure.
Because look, again, with Igbari mugging, the center chooses to go left.
Yeah, and blocks nobody.
Poor 74 didn't have a shot, man.
Yep. And
that was the way we were talking about last night.
Right. They went weak side to the strength.
Yep.
You got Jonnu on the left there, so you're bringing the heat from the opposite side of where your tight end is, and the back goes to the strong side as well.
Mm-hmm.
Walk right into that.
Rashawn maintaining the edge there, that was key on this sack as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just Kenny, it's Quay and Rashawn Gary too.
474, man.
Yeah. Look how they're working together. Like, watch Quay. Kenny. People see this and go, why is Kenny not just getting after the quarterback? Because he's being patient because he knows Quay's penetrating, right?
Yep.
And then as soon as he does, look at Kenny. Kenny going to give him a little shove in the back, and he's ready to make the sack. And again, watch Gary, like Tim was saying.
Look at that spot move at the end by Gary here on the right.
Get off me,
Get off me.
Mm.
Yep.
It's hard to believe this dude was just blocking Gary.
Yeah, exactly. And that's your insurance policy, right? Because if Kenny slips or doesn't quite get home, Tua's still got nowhere to go. He's going to run right into Rashawn.
Yeah. It was nice to see Kenny getting the stat column for sure. All right, final one. We were kind of doing this on the fly. I didn't plan on it, but I'm glad we did. This is the Brenton Cox Jr. sack. This came fourth quarter, 31 seconds left. So it is what it is. It's mop-up time, right? But let's watch it. Brenton Cox Jr. is playing that left edge. Looks like a 4-man rush on the surface. They're just kind of playing that soft defense here. So it is a 4-man rush, right? Who is that through the Devontae Wyatt through the spin move and made Tua jump right up into Brenton Cox Jr., right? And let's watch Brenton Cox Jr. on this play. Let's see what the move is here, Emilio. See if we can catch it. Yeah. Oh my God. It's a
little
punch
rip pull, pull to him.
Yeah. Pull and rip. So it's a punch, pull, rip. What you're going to see is Brenton Cox Jr. is going to punch him in the chest. Yep. He's going to pull the jersey and then rip up. And here's the thing too. What I like about that is he knew he had him beat. Don't worry about going too much rip, because when you go rip, the rule is they can hold you. Okay. Yep. And listen, that it's muddy water there. I don't want to get in a big conversation about that too deep, but when you rip, the hold call is pretty much off the table. I like that he didn't overdo the rip in case he did get a hold call there, right? But yeah, great job finishing the play, Kenny or Devontae Wyatt flush. And you see who was coming back around too, Kenny? Look at that. Imagine Brenton Cox Jr. gets blocked here, right? Look at this running lane for Tua. He can just step right up and take off, right? But watch what Kenny's doing. That's what we're talking about. When he's not pinning his ears back, he's engaging and he's strafing. Watch him. He's taking that away.
Yep. Right? That's called getting off your block, man. Get off that block. We didn't see that last year. We saw a lot of guys getting blocked and just being blocked, not getting off of it. Now these guys are engaging, like you said, quick rip, push them off, get to the next level. That's what you need from your D-line.
Yep. Completely agree.
Possum in a dumpster.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for hour one. For those of you listening on the pod, we will see you on the other side for hour two. We appreciate y'all.